think that some will object to the theory I'm proposing here, that the basic building blocks, the field, the values, the actualizer, they seem too complex and advanced. It would be easier to believe that the world was just made of very simple particles with hardly any properties at all. And for this reason, I'm now asking this question in this video: are the basic building blocks simple or complex? Do we have good reason to believe that they should be one or the other? And I think it's a very understandable intuition that we think that, well, the building blocks of the world should be very simple. We're used to maybe thinking from evolution that advanced animals have come from simpler animals, down to cells, even down to chemistry, and even down to atoms. We're used to every physical thing being reducible to atoms, being reducible to smaller elementary particles, and we just want to make it easier and easier and simpler and simpler and smaller until you get almost nothing, because it seems then like this transition, maybe first there was nothing and then there was just something very, very simple, and then it became more and more complex. But this transition then from absolutely nothing to something is something unique and special. You can't say that, well, it's easy. It's easy for nothing to become something simple, but it's not easy for something to become something advanced. This transition is something unique and special, where we have no reason to say that, well, for absolutely nothing it's easy to become something simple, but it's not easy to become something complex. Actually, we have instead a reason to believe that the basic building blocks that has created the world are complex, because even from the very start, the basic building blocks must have had in them potential for everything that has happened later. It must have been possible from the very start that everything that has happened could happen, because otherwise it wouldn't have happened. So all galaxies and laws of nature and consciousness, everything that exists, everything that has happened, must have been possible from the very start, otherwise they couldn't have happened. So this gives us reason then to believe that the basic building blocks actually are something complex, or something at least with fantastic potential. Of course, in any case, we don't have reason to believe that it must the basic building blocks must be simple, because then it's easier for nothing to become something. We have reason to believe that the basic building blocks are complex, because they had potential for everything that has happened later. But it is good to have as simple building blocks as possible, because that gives us fewer questions to answer, it gives us less loose ends. And so in order to have as complete theory as possible, it's good to have simple building blocks, but we can't just say that they should be very simple. We should just have as simple as possible, but still there are reason to believe that they are quite complex. So it's their ability to explain that must be the main question, and then we want the things that are as simple as possible in order to explain as much as possible. That's the simple point that I wanted to make in this video.